Hi, my name is Chris. Welcome to my video about the most unfaithful signs of the Zodiac. Revealed. Revealed. The ancient celestial library materialized before me in a shimmer of stardust, its crystalline walls pulsing with cosmic energy. I had been summoned here by the Keeper of Zodiacal Secrets, a being whose form shifted between constellations with each breath. The air itself seemed alive with whispered truths from millennia past. And as I stepped through the ethereal doorway, the weight of what I was about to discover pressed upon my consciousness. You seek knowledge of the heart's betrayals. The Keeper's voice resonated through dimensions, neither male nor female, but something beyond mortal comprehension. The stars have witnessed every broken promise, every secret liaison, every tear shed in the darkness of deception. Come, mortal seeker, and I shall reveal what the cosmos knows of faithfulness and its absence. The floor beneath my feet transformed into a swirling galaxy, and suddenly I was walking upon stars themselves. Each step echoed through eternity as the Keeper led me to a massive astrolabe that contained the essence of all 12 Zodiac signs. The device hummed with an otherworldly frequency, and as it began to spin, reality itself seemed to bend around us. Before we unveil these cosmic truths, the Keeper intoned, raising a hand that sparkled with nebula dust. Understand that the tendency toward unfaithfulness is not destiny carved in stone. These are inclinations written in starlight, patterns observed across countless lifetimes. But every soul possesses the power of choice. What I show you are the shadows that certain signs must consciously overcome. The astrolabe suddenly erupted in a fountain of light, and from it emerged the first vision I saw. Gemini, the twins, manifesting as two ethereal figures dancing in perfect synchronization, yet always looking in opposite directions. The cosmic realm around them shifted constantly, showing multiple realities existing simultaneously. Behold, Gemini, the Keeper announced as the vision intensified. Born under Mercury's quicksilver influence, they possess a dual nature that makes commitment a complex challenge. Watch as their essence splits between possibilities. Before my eyes, I witnessed a Gemini soul navigating through relationships across different timelines. In one reality, they were deeply devoted, but in another running parallel. Their attention wandered like a butterfly in an endless garden. Their mind, brilliant and curious, craved constant stimulation and novelty. I saw how their natural charm and communication skills could weave elaborate webs of half-truths when cornered. Geminis struggle not for malice, genuinely caring for both, but from an insatiable need for mental stimulation and variety. Their unfaithfulness often begins in the mind, through emotional or intellectual connections that slowly evolve beyond boundaries. They can rationalize their actions with remarkable creativity, convincing themselves that they're not truly being unfaithful if certain lines haven't been crossed. The scene shifted to show a Gemini at a gathering, their silver tongue captivating multiple admirers simultaneously. They weren't necessarily planning deception, but their natural flirtatiousness and need for attention created situations where boundaries blurred. The cosmic energy around them sparkled with nervous excitement, reflecting their constant search for the next interesting conversation, the next mental challenge. Suddenly, the astrolabe spun violently, and from its center emerged Sagittarius, the archer, depicted as a magnificent centaur with a bow that shot arrows made of pure wanderlust. The cosmic realm transformed into an endless horizon of adventures waiting to be explored. Sagittarius. The keeper's voice grew deeper. Ruled by expansive Jupiter, cannot be caged. Their unfaithfulness stems not from deception, but from an overwhelming need for freedom and new experiences. I watched as the Sagittarian spirit galloped through relationships like territories to be explored. They loved deeply and passionately, but their love was like fire, intense, consuming, and always seeking new fuel. The vision showed them making promises with complete sincerity, truly meaning every word in that moment. But as time passed, their restless spirit would yearn for distant shores. See how they struggle. The keeper pointed to a scene where a Sagittarius stood at a crossroads, torn between stability and adventure. They don't plan to be unfaithful. Their optimistic nature makes them believe they can have everything, maintain all connections, hurt no one. They often engage in unfaithfulness not through deliberate betrayal, but through their inability to resist the call of new experiences and connections. The cosmic scene revealed a Sagittarius meeting someone during their travels, the spark of connection immediate and irresistible. They didn't seek it out. But when adventure and attraction combined, their philosophical nature would construct elaborate justifications. They might argue that love shouldn't be possessive, that humans weren't meant for monogamy, that experiences were meant to be collected like treasures. The astrolabe shifted again, this time revealing Aries, the ram, surrounded by an aura of crimson fire. The warrior of the Zodiac appeared in full cosmic armor, their energy crackling with impulsive passion. Aries acts first and thinks later, the keeper stated, as the vision showed an Aries charging headfirst into a romantic entanglement without considering consequences. Ruled by Mars, the planet of war and passion, they are driven by conquest and the thrill of the chase. I observed how Aries' unfaithfulness often stemmed from their impulsive nature and need for excitement. When relationships settled into routine, when the initial fire cooled to steady warmth, they grew restless. The vision showed an Aries at a moment of temptation, their entire being lighting up at the prospect of a new conquest. There was no careful planning, no elaborate deception, just pure, instantaneous action driven by desire. Their unfaithfulness is like a wildfire, the keeper explained. Sudden, intense, and often regretted once the flames die down. They don't mean to hurt others, but their self-focused nature and impulsiveness override consideration for their partner's feelings in the heat of the moment. The cosmic realm shifted to show the aftermath of an Aries' impulsive betrayal, their genuine remorse clashing with their inability to resist the next temptation. They would swear never to stray again, meaning it completely, only to find themselves in the same situation when another opportunity for excitement presented itself. Next, the astrolabe revealed Aquarius, the water bearer, surrounded by electric blue lightning and floating in a dimension where conventional rules seemed suspended. Their form was almost translucent, as if they existed partially in another realm. Aquarius, ruled by unpredictable Uranus, operates by their own moral code, the Keeper revealed. Their unfaithfulness is perhaps the most complex, for they may redefine what faithfulness means entirely. The vision showed an Aquarius forming deep connections with multiple people simultaneously, not seeing these as betrayals, but as expressions of universal love. Their detached nature allowed them to compartmentalize relationships in ways that others couldn't understand. I watched as an Aquarius engaged in what they considered a meeting of minds, genuinely not recognizing how it crossed boundaries their partner had assumed were understood. They live in the future, the Keeper noted, often forgetting the present promises they've made. Their need for independence and intellectual stimulation can lead them to seek connections outside their primary relationship. Connections they might not even classify as unfaithfulness because they've mentally redefined the terms. The scene depicted an Aquarius explaining to their bewildered partner how their connection with another was purely intellectual, completely missing the emotional betrayal their partner felt. Their innovative mind could justify almost anything. Through logic and progressive thinking, making them capable of unfaithfulness while genuinely believing they'd done nothing wrong. Suddenly, the cosmic library darkened, and from the shadows emerged Scorpio, surrounded by an aura of mystery and intensity. The energy around them pulsed with dangerous magnetism. Now we come to a paradox, the Keeper announced. Scorpio, the sign most associated with sexuality and secrets, can be both the most faithful and the most devastatingly unfaithful. The vision revealed Scorpio's complex nature. When committed, their loyalty was absolute, their love consuming and transformative. But when betrayed, or when they felt emotionally neglected, their capacity for deception was unmatched. I watched a Scorpio planning an affair with the strategic precision of a military operation, every detail considered, every trace hidden. Scorpio's unfaithfulness is never casual, the Keeper explained, as the vision showed the intricate web of a Scorpio's secret life. When they stray, it's deliberate, intense, and often driven by deep emotional needs or revenge. They possess an unparalleled ability to live double lives, their natural secretiveness making them masters of deception. The cosmic scene revealed how a Scorpio could maintain multiple relationships with such skill that none suspected the other's existence. Their intuitive understanding of human psychology allowed them to give each partner exactly what they needed to feel secure, all while pursuing their hidden desires. Yet, the vision also showed the tremendous psychological toll this took on the Scorpio themselves, the weight of secrets eating at their soul. The astrolabe spun once more, revealing Leo, the lion, resplendent in golden light, their mane flowing with solar flames. The cosmic realm transformed into a grand theater where Leo stood at center stage. Leo requires admiration like flowers require sunlight, the Keeper stated. Their unfaithfulness often springs from wounded pride or insufficient attention. I watched as a Leo, feeling underappreciated in their relationship, began seeking validation elsewhere. Their natural charisma drew admirers like moths to flame, and when their partner failed to provide the constant appreciation they craved, they found it intoxicating to be desired by others. The vision showed a Leo basking in the attention of a new admirer, their ego swelling with each compliment. They don't always intend to be unfaithful, the Keeper observed, but their need for admiration can lead them into situations where boundaries blur. When someone makes them feel like the royalty they believe themselves to be, resistance becomes difficult. The scene shifted to show a Leo juggling multiple admirers. Not necessarily physically unfaithful, but emotionally investing in whoever provided the most validation at any given moment. Their dramatic nature could turn any interaction into a romance, any conversation into a flirtation, especially if they felt their primary relationship wasn't providing sufficient worship. Next emerged Libra, the scales, surrounded by an aura of rose-colored light, their form constantly shifting as if unable to maintain balance. The cosmic realm around them transformed into a garden of infinite beauty, where every flower seemed equally appealing. Libra, ruled by Venus, seeks harmony and beauty in all things, the Keeper explained. Their unfaithfulness often stems from their inability to say no and their constant search for perfect balance. The vision revealed a Libra caught between multiple attractions, genuinely torn by indecision. Their natural charm and desire to please everyone created situations where they inadvertently led others on. I watched as a Libra, trying to avoid conflict, told different people what they wanted to hear, creating a web of romantic misunderstandings. They fear being alone more than almost any other sign, the Keeper noted as the scene showed a Libra overlapping relationships, unable to leave one before securing another. Their unfaithfulness often manifests as emotional affairs that develop while they're still deciding whether to leave their current situation. They convince themselves they're just being friendly, just keeping options open until lines have been irreversibly crossed. The cosmic vision depicted a Libra at a social gathering, their natural flirtatiousness operating on autopilot. sending mixed signals without conscious intent. Their need for partnership was so strong that they often maintained backup options, not from malice, but from deep-seated fear of abandonment. The astrolabe's energy shifted, revealing Pisces, the fish, swimming through dimensions of dreams and reality simultaneously. Their form was fluid, constantly changing, never quite solid. Pisces lives between worlds, the keeper intoned, and their unfaithfulness often occurs in the realm of fantasy before manifesting in reality. I observed how Pisces' rich imagination could create entire relationships in their mind, emotional affairs with people who might barely know they existed. Their empathetic nature made them vulnerable to others' emotions, sometimes unable to distinguish between compassion and romantic attraction. The vision showed a Pisces being drawn into an affair almost unconsciously, following emotional currents like a fish in a stream. Their unfaithfulness is often escapism, rather than addressing them. When reality becomes too harsh, they swim into the arms of whoever offers a more beautiful dream. The cosmic scene showed a Pisces genuinely believing they were in love with multiple people simultaneously. Their boundaries so fluid that they absorbed others' feelings as their own. Their deception was often self-deception first, convincing themselves of alternate realities where their actions caused no harm. As these revelations unfolded, the keeper raised their hand and the astrolabe revealed the remaining signs in a gentler light. Taurus appeared, steady and solid, their earth energy grounding them in loyalty despite their sensual nature. The vision showed how Taurus's unfaithfulness was rare, usually only occurring after long periods of neglect or when their basic needs for security and sensuality were completely unmet. Their natural inertia made them resistant to change, preferring to work on existing relationships rather than seek new ones. Virgo manifested next, surrounded by crystalline patterns of perfect order. The keeper explained how Virgo's analytical nature and high standards actually protected against unfaithfulness in most cases. When they did stray, it was usually after exhaustive mental analysis, and when they'd convinced themselves it was the logical choice. Their perfectionism made them highly critical of potential affairs, often finding too many flaws to proceed. Cancer emerged in a protective shell of moonlight, their emotional depths vast as oceans. The vision revealed how Cancer's deep need for emotional security and their nurturing nature made them naturally faithful. Their unfaithfulness, when it occurred, was usually a response to severe emotional neglect or betrayal, seeking the emotional connection they desperately craved. Even then, their guilt would often consume them, their sensitive nature making deception almost unbearable. Finally, Capricorn appeared, climbing a cosmic mountain with determined focus. The keeper showed how Capricorn's ambition and reputation consciousness made them calculate the risks of unfaithfulness carefully. They rarely acted on impulse, and their practical nature made them weigh consequences heavily. When Capricorns did stray, it was often connected to power dynamics or career advancement, though their strong sense of responsibility usually kept them faithful. Now, You have seen the shadows each sign must face, the Keeper announced as all 12 zodiac symbols circled around us in a cosmic dance. But remember, these are tendencies, not certainties. Every soul has the power to choose loyalty, to overcome their natural inclinations through consciousness and commitment. The cosmic library began to pulse with a different energy, and I saw visions of all signs demonstrating profound faithfulness, overcoming their challenges through self-awareness and genuine love. A Gemini choosing to channel their need for variety into shared adventures with their partner. A Sagittarius finding freedom within commitment. An Aries learning patience and the deep satisfaction of sustained passion. The stars influence but do not control, the Keeper continued. Understanding these tendencies allows individuals to guard against their weaknesses and partners to better understand each other's needs. Knowledge of potential unfaithfulness is not meant to breed suspicion, but to foster understanding and communication. The astrolabe began to slow, and the cosmic realm started to fade. But before I departed, the Keeper shared one final revelation. The most profound truth is this: unfaithfulness is rarely about the other person. It's about unmet needs, unresolved issues, and unconscious patterns. When signs understand their own nature, they can consciously choose faithfulness, making it not a limitation, but a liberation. As I prepared to leave this celestial sanctuary, the Keeper gestured toward a shimmering portal. Take this knowledge back to the mortal realm, but remember to wield it with compassion. Every sign has the capacity for both great faithfulness and unfaithfulness. The key lies not in the stars, but in the choices made moment by moment, day by day. I stepped through the portal, my mind reeling with cosmic revelations. The journey through the zodiac shadows had revealed not just potential for betrayal, but also the path to transcending these tendencies. Each sign's struggle with faithfulness was ultimately a very human struggle, magnified through the lens of celestial influence. Back in the earthly realm, I reflected on how this knowledge could transform relationships. Understanding that a Gemini partner needs intellectual stimulation could lead to engaging conversations and shared learning experiences. Knowing a Sagittarius needs adventure might inspire planned travels and new experiences together. Recognizing an Aries' need for excitement could mean keeping the relationship dynamic and passionate. The cosmic truth was clear. Unfaithfulness wasn't inevitable for any sign. It was a potential that could be transformed through awareness, communication, and conscious choice. The stars might whisper temptations, but the human heart always held the final decision. As I contemplated these revelations, I understood that the Keeper had given me more than just knowledge of unfaithfulness. They had provided a map for creating stronger, more understanding relationships. By knowing the shadows each sign must face, partners could support each other in staying in the light. The mystical journey had revealed that every sign possessed both the potential for unfaithfulness and the power to overcome it. Gemini could learn to find variety within commitment. Sagittarius could discover that true freedom comes from choosing to stay. Aries could channel their passion into deepening existing bonds rather than seeking new ones. The cosmic dance continued eternally, each sign playing their part in the grand tapestry of human relationships. Some would stumble, some would fall. Loyalty and truth. As the final echoes of the cosmic library faded from my consciousness, I carried with me the understanding that the Zodiac's influence on faithfulness was not a prison, but a teacher. Each sign's potential for unfaithfulness was matched by their unique capacity for profound love and loyalty when they consciously chose to embrace their higher nature. The stars had revealed their secrets, but the ultimate truth remained beautifully simple. Love is a choice made fresh each day, and faithfulness is the continuous decision to honor that choice, regardless of which constellation watched over one's birth. The cosmos might influence the journey, but each soul remained the author of their own story, capable of writing chapters of devotion that could outshine even the brightest stars. In the end, the most unfaithful signs of the zodiac were simply those who hadn't yet learned to master their own nature. But with awareness, understanding, and commitment, every sign could transform their potential weaknesses into strengths, their shadows into light, and their tendency toward unfaithfulness into an unshakable devotion that could weather any cosmic storm. The revelation was complete, the cosmic secrets unveiled, but the true journey, the individual choice between faithfulness and betrayal, remained eternally written not in the stars, but in the daily decisions of the heart.